Good evening, you're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where we curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. Before I hit the headlines as usual, like we do on 7 at 7, I want to take you through where India numerically stands with its fight against COVID-19. Let's take you through the figures. Overall, in terms of positive cases right now, viewers, we are at 52,14,677 positive cases. We've recorded a total number of deaths of 84,372. Let's break it down right now. Let's go state by state. The state of Maharashtra continues to register the highest import of positive cases of 11,45,840. Till now, Maharashtra has lost 31,351 people to COVID-19. Let's take it down to Andhra Pradesh, recording a total positive toll of 6,01,462, recording 5,177 deaths. At third spot, with a total positive load of 5,25,420 is Tamil Nadu with 8,618 deaths. This is numerically at least where India stands with its fight against COVID-19. This data collated till just about 20 minutes right here by our producers. Let's now, from the figures, take you through the headlines. What's making... All right, let's get you our top story on 7 at 7, and that comes from Karnataka. The probe in the drug scandal in the sandalwood industry is only getting murkier, and the probe is getting deeper. The Bengaluru Central Crime Branch is now summoned 2 more actors and the son of a former Congress MLA in connection with the drug racket. The crime branch has summoned Akul Balaji, actor and host, Santosh Kumar, actor and Kannada Bigg Boss participant, and Yuvraj, the son of former Congress MLA R.V. Devaraj. All these 3 have been summoned tomorrow at 10 a.m. All of this as actor Ragini and Sanjana remain jailed in the case. 2 more actors, Digant and Andrita, were also summoned earlier by the Central Crime Branch. I want to connect right now immediately to my colleague Nagarjun Dwarkanath, who's joining us with the very latest. Naga, what more can you add? It does seem now the probe is getting wider, the net is getting wider, more and more names cropping up.
Well, the government at this point of time has taken this investigation very seriously. They're not budging to any pressure is what we are told. In fact, when I spoke to the Home Minister, he also said that the Chief Minister has given him free hand and to the police department. 3 more people have been summoned in this ongoing investigation of sandalwood drug racket. 2 actors, one is a Bigg Boss contestant and one is a famous popular host on Kannada TV channels. And the third person is Yuvraj, former corporator and also son of a former Congress MLA. What, according to preliminary information from sources, is that these 3 had farmhouses or villas on the outskirts of the cities, and at times they rented out their property for parties, and there were drugs consumed in those parties, and that's going to be probed. All the 3 of them were outside Bengaluru, and they will be reaching tomorrow at 10 o'clock directly to the chief, in front of the chief of the crime branch, and they will cooperate is what we are told. These 3 names also propped up during the investigation, where many accused who are arrested right now did give out names and locations of the properties owned by these 3 people. And that is the reason why the summons were sent through WhatsApp to the 3 people, Akul Balaji, Santosh Kumar, and also Yuvraj.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Naga. Thank you there for that quick update. Let me now break it down further. The Kannada actor Sanjana Galrani's judicial hearing has been postponed to tomorrow. Lots of them, 2 of these actors are in jail, lots of them being questioned as we speak. Now, the bail hearing, which has been postponed to tomorrow, comes as Karnataka police has intensified the probe. What we do know, that India Today has accessed exclusive details of Karnataka police raid on Sanjana's residence. During the raid, the police recovered several mobile phones, a hard disk, a laptop and a power bank. The crime branch later questioned Sanjana on the digital devices recovered from her residence. The police said that the actor did not use a SIM card on few phones but was using Wi-Fi connections to operate them. After Ragini and Sanjana, star couple Digant and Andrita are being investigated too. Their gadgets have been seized by the crime branch. Meanwhile, 2 more peddlers have been arrested by the Bengaluru cops. All right, let's All right, let's move on now and get you the very latest on the Sushant Singh Rajput death probe. The latest that we have is a video now that has in fact surfaced of Sushant Singh Rajput alongside his Rhea Chakrabarti and one of his friends. India Today has accessed this video. In this exclusive video, you can see Sushant drawing a flowchart on a whiteboard. Amongst other things, he has written on the board, he mentions his name, Rhea's name, and another person called Annu Kapoor. What's interesting is that in this flowchart, Sushant indicates a link between him, Rhea, and Annu Kapoor and terms it untold stories. All right, the latest news break right now coming in. Let's get our viewers. The news that is just coming in is that a high-level meeting on Ladakh, which was chaired by the defense minister, has just ended. 3 hours long political and military leadership meeting ends. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, CDS General Bipin Rawat, NSA Ajit Doval present in the meet to discuss the China situation and forces preparedness. I want to connect right now to my colleague Abhishek Bhalla, who's getting us up to speed with the very latest. Abhishek, what was discussed in the in this meeting? What is it that we know?
Well, Preeti, another of those several meetings that have taken place in the security establishment to get up to date with what the situation at the line of actual control is. And not only is the situation being reviewed just ahead of the winter sets in, but also another very important aspect of all these deliberations is how to negotiate with the Chinese, because it seems that the dialogue that was supposed to take place has also come to a standstill when it comes to military commanders, and the lines of communication remain extremely fragile as the situation perhaps at the borders. So all these things are being discussed by the security establishment and the political leadership so that the military commanders on the ground are in sync with whatever decisions are being taken in New Delhi, and that's the way that they can go forward when they negotiate with the Chinese, if at all any meeting takes place in near future.
Okay. All right, appreciate you joining us, Abhishek. We're going to keep coming back to you for further updates. Abhishek Bhalla elucidating what went down in that meeting that took place where was chaired by the defense minister. Let's quickly now shift focus on the preparedness of the Indian Air Force. The Indian Air Force is in full operation gear in Ladakh, ready for any emergency.
With a roar, a beast returns to base. An Indian Air Force MiG-29 fighter jet arriving back at the Leh Air Base after a mission over Ladakh. The roar of its twin engines, now a signature sound in this stretch of the Himalayas. And here's a Mirage 2000 in a low pass over the Leh airfield before climbing out for its next mission. On the ground, a pair of formidably armed Apache helicopters lifts off. They have their own prowling to do in airspace close to the standoff zone. As winter arrives and Indian Army troops consolidate their positions at dominant heights across the standoff zone, the Indian Air Force is in top gear for both offensive and defensive air operations. Military preparedness in Ladakh has been high for nearly 5 months now. But since the end of August, the tempo of missions has hit a record high. As you can see from these images, the Indian Armed Forces aren't waiting for China to make a move. They're fully prepared for any eventuality. But China's stubborn refusal to confirm dates for an agreed round of military talks has spurred suspense and added to uncertainties in eastern Ladakh. If you're wondering about the recently inducted Indian Air Force Rafale fighters, India today can confirm to you that the jets have been flying periodic missions over Ladakh. The Indian Air Force chief had dropped a major hint about the aircraft's readiness at the induction ceremony in Ambala recently.
They have already flown and familiarized with our operational environment and have undergone intense integrated training with our other combat fleets, including firing of advanced weapons. And I expect the golden arrows to intimidate and dominate whenever and wherever employed.
In a scenario unique to the Indian Air Force and representative of its arsenal, air power in Ladakh stands represented by both one of the oldest fighter types in service, the MiG-21, and the newest, the Rafale. Super high altitude, super cold weather, no deterrent to the tempo of air operations.
A clear day over Leh today, but war clouds looming large in Ladakh. Mirage 2000 fighter jets, MiG-29 air superiority fighters and Su-30s have been carrying out a number of sorties. The army is extensively deployed and increasing numbers along the line of actual control to keep an eye on an extremely belligerent and untrustworthy China. Coupled with this is the fact that China appears reluctant to return to the dialogue table. What is the dragon planning? Is there more deceit in store? With Sandeep Unnithan and cameraman Kripal Singh in Leh, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
All right, we're going to continue to get you the very latest from Leh, Ladakh. My colleague Gaurav Sawant, Abhishek Bhalla getting you the very latest. Let's shift focus right now. The games have begun. The IPL 13th edition kickstarts very soon in UAE. And India is completely prepared in the times of COVID for some entertainment.
The wait is finally over. It's time for lights, camera, cricket. The biggest T20 league is here with all the superstars of Indian cricket in action. In April, IPL was suspended indefinitely due to coronavirus pandemic. And 3 months later, Sourav Ganguly-led BCCI decided to take the tournament to the UAE. IPL will be played across 3 venues in UAE. 60 matches will be played during the 53-day-long tournament with 10 double-headers on weekends. There is a change in timings this season. The evening matches will begin at 7:30 p.m, while the first match on the days of double-headers will commence at 3:30 p.m. India time. All the teams have been placed in separate biosecure bubbles following rigorous testing process for COVID-19. Players were tested consistently before their arrival in UAE. IPL 13 has had its share of challenges, and the COVID scare in Chennai camp upon arrival was the biggest one. Chennai had 13 positive cases, including that of Deepak Chahar and Ruturaj Gaikwad. Deepak Chahar has recovered well, but Ruturaj is not available for the tournament opener. All the teams have been preparing well, and now everyone is waiting for the first ball to be bowled and the cricket carnival to kick off. Sports Bureau, India Today.
It's time on 7 at 7 to bust certain claims, pretending, masquerading to be facts. Well, there is one piece of news or a picture that's floating about on social media. You might have seen it in many of our WhatsApp groups that seem to suggest that Kangana Ranaut, the actor Kangana Ranaut, right now in news, was actually spotted with the underworld don Abu Salim. Well, the fact check on it, false. This is a journalist. He's no don. With this piece of information, it's a wrap on 7 at 7. But do stay tuned. Up next is To The Point. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.